So, mate, I feel like this has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
No graft, no glory. For anyone who doesn't know, obviously, it kind of does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
No graft, no glory. But explain the concept of no graft, no glory.
So it is what it says on the tin, right? So it's the companies come from, or the businesses come from 7 years working in startup and scale up, really. 16 years being a corporate whopper before that, thinking I knew everything.
We've all been there.
Yeah. But you think you know everything, right? So I come out with that, and I was like, I'll set a business up, it'll be amazing, I'll be a millionaire in a year. Yeah, then COVID hit, and I didn't have a business anymore.
Yeah.
And then went into the startup and scale up world. And when I was in there, joining founders, helping grow businesses, so my background was sales and ops and doing that. And over the 7 years, started realising that there's certain traits that you see in founders. First one, working the bollocks off, working really, really hard, but in all the wrong places. Because you only know what you know, right, Steve?
Yeah.
So you're working really hard, and then all of a sudden you go, where's my business going? What am I doing? Why isn't it growing? And then the first thought is, I'm useless. There's only me who can't do this. Fuck it, I'm going to jack it in. Yeah? So grafting in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it is when you get a bit of success and your company becomes a business, so to speak, because it's making money, then you don't have to work as hard, right? Because you've got a staff, you've got a team in. So all of a sudden, you're going and doing the things that you enjoy doing, as you should, as you're right, but not necessarily working as hard in all the right places. And then realising why your business isn't growing. So the name came from my experience of working as a director, working with other founders, seeing other CEOs, saying, well, if you don't do the work, you don't get the glory. So no graft, no glory is where it comes from.
There is an interesting thing in that, I think, where people assume because you've got a business, you've got loads of money. People just assume that.
Yeah, right.
And I've found that. And I've definitely had that thing when you start the business, and I've had other businesses before, but you start the business and you'd almost default into this mode of, I'll take any work that anyone will pay me for.
Yep.
So you'd end up doing this thing where like you're like spreading your button nice and thin because you're like, right, I'm doing this for this person, this for this person, this for this person, and it's all a bit different. But they're all paying me, and I need the money.
Yeah, I know, but there's two things
And
there.
you get to a point after that where you're like, oh, I'm actually making money now, and I don't need to do this anymore. But then you're stuck with these clients that you're doing loads of different stuff for.
Or it goes two ways, doesn't it? So the first one is when you're talking about saying people think you've got money, right? Well, if you think about how many business owners you speak to, right, or whatever you're doing, business owners don't go to you. So how's a business going? They don't go, shit, mate, I'm skint. I haven't got a pot of piss in. They don't do that. People will go, yeah, going right well, I'm busy. Yeah, going, I'm busy. Nobody ever goes, yeah, but are you good busy, or are you just busy fool? To my point a minute ago, right? So you're always gonna give that off because you want people to feel that you're successful and your business is going well. Because you think if that's a potential client, and I say to them, I've got no work on, mate. I'll come and meet you whenever. They think, oh, that's a red flag. They're not gonna want to do business with me. So as business owners, we always put this persona on.
Is that like an ego protection mechanism?
Well, I think it's a bit of that because people are proud of what they've done. But the other bit is there's that inner voice that says, if I'm not busy, people think I'm a failure. Well, actually, they'll be probably more happy because they'll think I can speak to you quicker and I can get the work done quicker. But what they may do is if you say, are you busy? Oh, I'm chocker. They may go, well, there's no point in even talking to Stig about a bit of content work because he's really busy. Yeah, so you're potentially losing a client because you want to give that perception over. So there's probably a bit of ego in there, but also a bit of that bit about going, if I tell them I'm dead, they won't think I'm good enough or whatever that is. And look, me and you both know, in this game when you're setting your own business up, that inner voice never shuts up. 100%. It's constantly trying to tell you your shit. Yeah. Oh my God, there's only you doing it. Oh, look at that piece of work. So me and you've spoke, right? I really want a bit of support with getting that camera in front of my face on Instagram, right? But then I watch, so I'm thinking I'll do it myself because I'm tight, right? So I'm bootstrapped, I'll try and keep the money. So then I watch one of your reels, right? Or one of your podcasts and I'm like, oh, there's just no point, man. Because there's no way I'm doing that. And I know you shout at people and you've shouted at me, record it anyway and get it on there.
Post the fucking content. I'll tell you that to everyone.
I know, but then I think people think like, look at me, right? I'm already prematurely grey, right? I'm a bit overweight. I'm thinking, people are going to judge me. I haven't got my turkey teeth. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, people are going to judge me on these Instagram. So there's no point in putting it on. Do you know what I mean? But if you're right, but once people get used to your voice and seeing you, it's all right, isn't it?
I often tell the story to clients when they first start out, and I often say it on the podcast as well. When I first started out, I was a PT, and I was doing like no marketing at all. Yeah. Basically, any work that I got was word of mouth, and the odd post that I put on Facebook of like, come, like I've got 3 spaces available. If you want to sign up, message me. That was like literally the extent of my marketing. Yeah. So I wasn't social media savvy at all, and I wasn't marketing or sales savvy at all. I kind of like lucked out in the fact that I'd done a good job with clients. Well, it wasn't looked at, but it was looking in the sense that I'd done no marketing around it. Yeah. And I remember like thinking, I've got to get on video and I've got to do something. So I've done this video, and it was how to make protein porridge, and it was fucking terrible. And I mean, like, I'm not even saying it was, when it was actually quite good. It was actually shite. And I put it up, and within about 5 minutes, literally, and when I'm saying this, like, how it actually happened in real time, within 5 minutes, like, it was in the WhatsApp group. The boys were taking the piss out of me. Like, everyone was like, what are you doing? No, it was like ghost town. No, like, even like my ex at the time who I was with, like, even she was like, what the fuck is this? So anyway, it's probably still out there somewhere. Like, I used to have old channels and everything. It's probably still out there somewhere. I would never like to look it up, and hopefully no one ever finds it. But it put me off making content for so fucking long. But I knew in the back of my head I had to do it. So what I'd done was, I literally used to set my camera up on a tripod every morning with a coffee at 6 a.m. and I'd just speak to the camera without the intention of posting, of just what I was doing that day. And I'd just literally say out loud what I was doing that day.
Right, okay.
And it was like, right, I'm going to go to the gym, and then I'm going to sit down, I'm going to plan out some sessions, I'm going to do this, It gave me 2 things. One, I had no intention of posting, so there was no embarrassment, no one was ever going to see it, apart from me. And the second thing was, it gave me clarity on what I was actually doing that day, which was like, okay, I've got a set thing. And I noticed every time it went from like 15 seconds unbroken speaking without saying ums and ahs to like 20 seconds. Then it got to like 30 seconds. It got to a minute. So I'd done this every day for like, or most days for about 3 or 4 months. And I ended up with like all these videos on my phone of just me, just chatting shit about what I was doing that day. And then it got to a point where I was like talking about like, you know, what I was doing it's like a food shop. And I was in fitness at this point, so it was like what I was doing as a food shop, what I was doing in the gym. And I just literally just say it without the intention, no one ever seen this. So I had all these videos posted up, and I was like, right, I'm actually like sounding a bit better. My voice sounds a bit better. My speaking voice is a bit better. And I was like, why aren't I just posting this stuff? So and then like I realised, like, no matter what happens, you're going to get the piss taken out of you. No matter what happens, you're going to get some naysayers. No matter what happens, someone's going to talk shite. No matter what happens, you like the barrier to entry to anything is being a bit shit at the start. So fast forward a few years, I had my first lad, and I used to take him to football, and I used to look at them all running around, and it was like bees around the honeypot. They didn't give a shit about tactics. They didn't know the positions. Like 3 years old, and they're like fucking running around like blue-ass flies. Just basically screaming, laughing, But over time, they start to learn the positions a bit. They start to learn the controls a bit. They're dribbling, And it got me thinking, when you're that age and you learn a new skill and you're developing, they're not worried about being judged by parents looking at them on the side. And they're not looking at like other people going, oh, this person's going to judge me if I fall over and make a mistake. You just get up and crack on. And when you get older, you somehow like that fades away a little bit. And you start to think, I'm going to get judged for this, and I'm going to do this. So that got me into a rabbit hole of something called the fearchy. Now, the fearchy is the 5 major human fears. Now, there's like the fight or flight thing. There's like I think dismemberment's one of them. So like getting ripped apart by a wild animal or something. So if you go in like a safari, you don't want to, you like that in the cars or whatever. But there's 2 that really stood out to me. And then one was like fear of judgment. It's like, you don't want to stand up, you don't want to do something outrageous, because it's like when you say to someone in a public place, stand up and shout as loud as you can. Like they won't do it, because it's like fear of judgment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then the other one, which I found really interesting, was fear of not living up to your own expectations. And I think that's what you were talking about then, of like you're looking at someone who's got a bigger podcast, or who's a better creator, or someone who's got a massive business audience or a massive fucking social media audience,
Yeah.
and you're going, well, I'm not doing it like them, so I'm not going to do my own because people are going to compare me to them.
Yeah.
And if I'm not going to be at that standard, then I'm just not going to do it. And then you go back to the whole kid thing of like the barrier to entry is just being shit at the start.
Yeah. Do you know what? I love that analogy, by the way, of the football, because you are right, and that childhood innocence of just having fun and not caring. Problem is, life gets in the way, and we learn things, and our brain learns things.
What's the point where it drops off and it just stops being fun? For me, like I always try and keep an element of fun now.
Yeah, you've got to, haven't you? But that's like anything, isn't it? If you're coming back to the business analogy there of what that is that you let perfect be the enemy of good, right? So it's like, I've got to be perfect. So, trying to put out a 30-second video or whatever, you're filming 2 hours worth of different 30 seconds, you know what I mean? Or whatever that is. Yeah. And actually, the one 30 hours, it might be a little bit better, but you just sound more tired than when you first did it, you know what I mean? So just having a go and doing it. But if I can just go back to that point we were making around the business and what No Graft, No Glory is, because you hit a couple of points there that I think is really important is, so over that experience of those years in business and trying to do bits and bring business round, I then decided after leaving that last year that I wanted to go and help other business owners at whatever stage that was.
I love it.
Because I felt like, so when I had my business and when I was director in the business, I was paying consultants and people a lot of money to come in and just tell me, not help me, just tell me. Yeah. And then they get off, which is cool. That's a good model. Yeah. And for about half an hour, I thought they were amazing and they were doing this, but then I never had time to do it. Yeah. Or there wasn't somebody there to check in with or to hold me. So I looked at all these things, I looked at all these lenses, and I thought, right, what I really want to do is create a business or a company or me as a brand to be able to go and help people in real life. So not just tell them, help build with them. So I looked at all of the bits, and the reason I'm bringing this round for this, Steve, is because you mentioned the word clarity earlier, right? I had clarity. So I looked at all of my business career and all my sales career, all my successes, and there's more failures than successes, right? And I looked at all of them and thought, right, what is the common denominator? How can I do that? And I put it into 3 areas of when people are setting up businesses or running businesses. Clarity, control, and consistency. So I've created my methodology, NG3, which is clarity, control, and consistency. And we can equate that to whatever we're doing. So you talked about it there, right, from your social media post, whether you were sat there just recording yourself eating your breakfast. You had that moment of clarity where you went, right, okay, I've got to get used to this. I've got to get used to people talking shit to me, winding me up, saying this, saying that, and get that in a voice out. So if I keep doing it, I will get better and I'll feel more comfortable. And then you looked at what you were talking about, right? So your first one was porridge. I bet you when you look back, it'll be bad, but it'll still be all right, right? It'll be that. But then you look and thought, right, okay, if I start talking about more of the fitness article or whatever that is or whatever I'm doing, I'm speaking to the customers, who want to use me. Yeah. So my first bit of clarity you've got is, who am I speaking to? Then the second bit of clarity, where are they going to be? Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever, those type of things. So once people start understanding where the customers are, how they buy, what they want, and the value you add, whether it be porridge or whether it be whatever you were doing, or whatever those days are.
I know where that idea came from.
You've probably seen it somewhere, didn't you? You probably went, if they can do it, I'll have a good, you know what I mean? Yeah. Shot a bit of protein powder in the porridge and crack on. And then you move into the control aspect. So once you've got clarity, you need to be in control of the business. And we can talk a little bit more about that as we go through. Because if you don't know what you're doing, and you haven't got the measures in place or the automations or the systems in place to make it work, your business controls you. You don't own your business. You don't control your business.
100%.
And if you don't have them, how can you be consistent? And the one thing you will say as a content creator is consistency is key, right? If you don't keep doing it, but that's equated to any business, any sales, because sales is shit and it's fucking hard. Yeah. And people tell you no. Yeah. So guess what it is for most people who own a business when they're chocker, the first thing they put off, I'll do the sales tomorrow. Yeah. I'll do the prospecting tomorrow. And then sit there going, why haven't I got a business?
But that's why salespeople are so highly compensated, because they just take all the shit, basically. Like, they just get they get the most no's. They're the ones that sit there and get no after no after no after no, and just have to keep going. Just have to keep going. And I think that's an admirable skill, to be fair, of just being able to take rejection after rejection and just without any, knock on your confidence. It's just like, right, crack on.
Resilience, right? Yeah. In any aspect. Go back to those kids playing footy, falling over. Immediate resilience. I'll just keep getting up. I don't care. I'll just keep getting up. Yeah. You crack on. Now you watch them. I won't talk about football. After last night, I'm a Middlesbrough fan. I'm still in mourning. But you're looking at them guys. A lot of these 20-odd-year-olds now don't have the resilience. They're paid money, but they don't have the resilience of a 3-year-old to keep getting up and having a go. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, how do you keep going with that business, keep it going, and take the knocks and keep it going? So that's ultimately what I preach and I want to help people with and to be able to do.
I love it, mate. I love that. I totally agree. I actually done a bit of research on podcasting, well, a lot of research on podcasting before we dove into the world of podcasting, because I was like, is it a lot of like work in terms of time consumption to record loads of podcasts and stuff for not much return? Because at the end of the day, like for our business, the podcast is, I love podcasting. It's great for lead gen. It's great for getting mass amounts of content out there. Yeah. It's great for brand building relationships, all that good stuff. But it's a loss leader at the end of the day. It doesn't make us much money. Yeah. And one day it will, but as of right now, it's not our main income generator. So I've done this like research on it. So if you do, like I said this to you before, 21 podcasts. Yeah. 21. You would be in the top 1% of all podcasts in the world. Yeah. Of the millions and millions of podcasts out there, you would be in the top 1%. Mad. That is crazy stats. It just seems like such a mundane amount of work to do. Just speak to people for 21 hours. Yeah. Or, and that equates roughly to around 4,000 views or downloads. So if you divided 4,000 by 21, whatever that is, you've got 300 odd views on a podcast. It's like you're in the top 1%. So why don't people get to 20? The question then is, why don't people get to 21 podcasts? Yeah. And usually it is exactly what you said. It's, someone's not turned up this week, and someone couldn't make the podcast this week, so we haven't got an episode to go out. Oh, fucking hell. What am I going to do? Yeah. The consistency's gone. And then they've got to rearrange someone else to get someone else in. And all of a sudden, it's like this is becoming like a lot of work for no return. Yeah. Because you're not monetized at the start. So what you end up with in the podcast world is 1% of podcasters doing phenomenally well. All the money just rises to the top. Yeah. And then you got all these like disillusioned people going, I've started a podcast. It sounded great, and I really love the idea of doing a podcast, but it's not working. But actually, it is working. You're just not letting it nurture that long for it to. Yeah,
but you've done the bit that loads of people don't. So if you think about clarity, right? So you researched it, right? So loads of let's be right. When you set a podcast, those other 98% don't research it, right? They just watch people on podcasts and go, it's decent that, like, a bit of ego again. I'd like to do a podcast, right? So they don't research it. They don't know what goes into it. The other bit that you touched on there, the challenge isn't people pulling out. It's having to do with the graft to go and get people to come on the podcast. Yeah, and then you think, oh, but I need someone famous to come on because look at Joe Rogan, right? I mean, you said something to me that stuck with me, right? And I love this. And we were talking about businesses, and you may or may not remember it. And you said, someone I think said to you, it was a mentor of yours, or someone had said to you, why are you looking at businesses that are 20 steps ahead of you? Yeah. Why are you looking at them? Look at somebody who's 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. And that really resonated with me. And I've used that in setting my business up and talking to people now, saying, don't try and equate yourself to Steve Jobs or Joe Rogan or Louis Theroux or whoever's doing it now in this. Exactly. I should be comparing myself to you, for example, right? You're 3 steps ahead. You're 18 months ahead of me. You've got that in there.
Well, the business in a business mentor sort of like head on, you look at it and go, I'm not doing £1 million in sales. It's possible, but not yet. Realistically, if we do $250,000 sales, fucking fantastic. Am I going to jump from $250,000 sales to £1 million in sales within a year. Possible? Probably not.
Yeah.
So I might look at it and go, right, so Scott's doing a couple of £100,000 in sales. I want to get to a couple of £100,000 in sales.
Yeah.
What's he done to bridge the gap from going an idea to a couple of £100,000? I can pick his brains. I can learn some stuff from him. Fantastic. That's amazing. If you look at someone who's doing £5 million in sales, it almost becomes like it's a disconnect there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's something I aspire to, but how is that going to be of value to me?
Yeah.
They're not, and even to them, like I can't go to them and contribute much to them.
No.
I'm basically just being a value hoover at that point.
Yeah.
And just being like, teach me stuff.
But you know, if you look at that though, I bet you, and I know because I've worked in companies who've turned over multi-millions of pounds in the corporate world to, a couple of business turnover, grown from a couple of 100,000 to $1 million plus 2 million. Foundations are the same, right? The foundations are the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they've got at 5 million is just a little bit more clarity and a little bit more data to understand where to go and how to go and when to do it. Yeah. But if they launch a new product, they still take the same approach as if you're launching a new business. But the bit that's a challenge, which I loved about it, was actually not the foundations, because I firmly believe that they are with the clarity, control, and consistency. I think they're the same. But it's being able to relate, right? So I'm a CEO now and I'm turning over 5 million, right? Yes, I'll remember 5 years ago when I was in the trenches, but not today. And the business and the environment where I've set myself up 5 years ago isn't the environment today. So I might think I know, but I don't. Again, just before we started recording, we were talking there, and you were saying, if we'd have set these businesses up in 2016, we could have charged a bit more than we're doing now. But the economy dictates that's what we've got to do. Brilliant. But that CEO who's turning over 5 million is going to try and tell me what it was like for him or her in 2016. Well, I love that. But it's bullshit because you're not scraping around the start today. And that's the bit I think about. Do you know what I mean?
Dealing with all these new government rules and regulations in 2026. Yeah.
Mate, honestly, I set myself up and I was like buzzing. Pay myself the least amount, get the dividends, as setting yourself up as a PLC company. Be brilliant. And then the government Rachel stands up and goes, there'll now be a tax on dividends because we want to take money off business owners that way. So straight away, your whole model changes in one speech.
I just don't understand the logic of that. I don't even really get involved in politics too much, but I just don't understand the logic of it. I mean, since I've come into this concept room, again, I'm not getting political in any way. No. Like, you just get the odd lesson. It's like, oh yeah, you know, it's 400 quid. And it's never anything that'll break the business. No. But it's just annoying. So it's like 700 quid here, 100 quid here, £1,000 there. And it's like, what the fuck? I think I've already paid that.
But it isn't for you because you practiced and got it well. But just imagine you're setting up, right? And you're being told to set up as a limited company. So you're doing it, you're going through. Money is absolutely tight. You're bootstrapping, you're trying to pay. And then those letters keep coming. That's the bit that makes that inner voice right. Told you couldn't do it. Told you it's this. Now to do with you, it's these letters. But every one of those letters goes, yeah. You're a failure. You haven't done it. I can't afford it. Yeah. And so I work with loads of people starting out business, right? So people who have left corporate want to become either going to the marketing world, the web design company, or I'm getting a lot of coaches at the minute, life coaches. There's a lot of people setting up as life coaches at the minute, and that's the challenge, that I see with a lot of these people who are setting up businesses, of them going, right, what's the steps? How do I do it? What's that money cut? But you can't tell them everything because, again, 2 months later, there might be a new rule or regulation come in to be able to that puts them off and just makes them go, oh, for God's sake, I haven't got it. Do you know what I mean? So it's about giving people the confidence to go get the foundations right, but have a financial plan and model in place that will, whatever comes in, you will know and you will have planned that there will be some taxes that come in and where it goes and what you're going to do. But a lot of people don't even think about that when they set the business up, and then they go, oh, what? Because you're used to getting paid right off your corporate business. You're PAY, you're used to getting to take all your taxes off, you take everything. You're suddenly self-employed, you're paying yourself, and then all of a sudden you get that bill at PAYE bill at the end of the day, and you go, oh, Where's that money coming from?
Yeah.
So again, I know we're going round a bit, Steve. We might have gone off a little bit, but in regards
this is gold, mate.
in regards of when you're setting that business up, whether you go PLC or you say stores trader, do the research. Yeah, get the clarity in what your business needs to set up and what those finances are. Because what you don't want to do is do all that graft, and we all blag at the start. Like there's no if anybody's watching this and says I didn't blag it, I knew what I was doing. Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's a lie. Do you know what I mean? It is, because we've all got to blag it and we've all got to have a go.
100%.
Some of us get luckier than others, and some of us put the graft in the right places, or we speak to people, and we listen. So just do that bit of clarity first. So if anyone's watching this thinking, I want to set a business up, but what I'm doing, please do the research, whether it be on podcasts to find out who the top 1% is of whatever that is, whether it be on finances or whether it be in whatever you're offering. Just do that bit of research to know if it's worthwhile.
100%. I mean, I just to round that point off, like, I would much rather like look at an account that's gone from 0 to 1,000 subscribers than an account that's gone from 500,000 to 5 million, because I'm looking at getting accounts for clients from 0 to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So I look at the science of that rather than the 500 to 5 million, because that's something to aspire to for sure. Like, a few years down the line, we'll look at that. But for now, like, I just look at the people that are 2 years ahead of me, done really well, and I go, okay, I can learn from that. And sometimes I'll even pay them and I'll hire them to say, give me some insights.
Yeah.
Show me. Yeah. Show me what I'm missing, what are my blind spots in this.
But that's investing in the business state. But again, sorry to just come on that point, but so you're thinking about that and looking at that as it's going to add value to the business. Challenge you've got when you're bootstrapping and you're starting a business, you look at it and go, right, what should I pay for? A CRM system, for example, so like a HubSpot or a Salesforce or a smaller one. Or I'll invest in Steve, who's going to help me do that, right? Well, they can see what HubSpot gives them. They can see it's tangible. Physical, you own it, right?
Yeah, you can quantify it.
Yeah, right. Speaking of Steve's a risk, right? Well, it's not, because we know that working with Content Room, there's now got proven case studies and proven value, right? Hey, little promo for you, Dave. But you know what I'm saying, right? So,
thanks, mate.
So no bother. I might give you a couple of quid. But looking at that, so it is really thinking about what is the return on investment in every decision you make, ROI on every decision, and that's hard when you're setting a business up. 100%. Is it going to make me money? Is it going to help me make money? Is it going to cost me money? And if it makes you money, do it. If it's going to help you make money, i.e. a relationship or a bit of coaching, brilliant. If it's going to lose your money, then it's probably not the right thing to do at that time when you start.
You just don't want to be that busy fool, do you? You don't want to be that busy fool where you're filling your diary up for no real reason, just to look busy. I always talk about big ideas.
Yeah.
I told you the Jerry Maguire story. You ever seen the film Jerry Maguire?
Show me the money, Steve.
Yeah. So, Jerry Maguire is one of my favourite films. I love that film.
Yeah.
Show me the money. So there's a bit of that, obviously.
Yeah.
But one of my favourite scenes in that film is he gets really pissed off with all these like sleazy sales agents and stuff, and they're all just trying to like fucking like, it's like dog eat dog, stab each other in the back, get the sale, get the biggest stars, and he's getting really sort of like disenfranchised with it all. And he goes home one day and he hashes out this like mission statements of like how he's going to revolutionise the industry.
Yeah.
And then he goes in he stays up all night, he drinks his coffee and he's sweating and all that. Puts his heart and soul into this mission statement.
Yeah.
And he goes in the next day and he makes this big grand speech in front of everyone. And everyone just ignores him. And he's standing there, he's going, fuck, what do I do now? And when I had my second kid, he was awake one night and I had that like Jerry Maguire moment, and I was like, where am I taking this? Where's it going? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I just cracked open a Google Doc and just started brain dumping.
Okay.
Literally just started brain dumping everything. And I'd done it for about 4 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Every night I'd just like get in this Google Doc and everything that was in my brain, every process, every framework in the business, I'd just brain dump. And it was a mess.
Yeah.
I was just fast typing. And then I tidied it up. put a little sort of thing on it. It's actually a lead magnet for me. I'll call it Social Media Blueprints. And it gave me like a load of clarity of like what was good, what was shit, what was...
Yeah.
Just give me like loads of clarity. And I was looking at it going, well, like, what's the common denominator between all of this? Like, what's the main what the main like recurring theme? And all the people that we ever worked with that were successful, and all the people that weren't that successful, all had big ideas.
Yeah.
And the common theme was the bigger the idea, the bigger the success.
Okay.
And it got me thinking, like, why do some ideas really take off?
Yeah.
And really go places? And you watch like Dragon's Den and stuff like that, and they come on and pitch the big idea, and some of them get shot down, some of them take off. And it was always like real life stuff. It was always like things like he didn't want to take the financial risk, and he didn't want to jump on the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Or the partner's like saying, no, you don't want to do that. It's too risky for us. Yeah. Or we're having a baby and this is happening. It was always something in like real life.
Yeah.
And it got me fascinated around like, why do these big ideas take off sometimes? Some don't. And I think there's just an element of just outlasting people, just sticking at it for so long that everyone else just quits.
Yeah.
And you just stick at it and you become a success. Like, I've seen so many content creators just give up because they can't make any money out of it. Yeah. Or they don't know. I'm like, what are you doing now? And they're like, oh yeah, I'm just working in this place. And I'm like, you could have been so good.
So it's almost like you could create a phrase for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like no graft, no glory, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that do you know what? You raise such a good point. Whether it's Jerry Maguire or whether it's you or whether it's whomever it is, it's ideas are amazing, right? Because we can all sit there. It's like, I tell you, my mother-in-law. I'm not that old. I'm not going to give you the mother-in-law joke here, right? So let me tell you about my mother-in-law. No. So my mother-in-law, right? Every time something comes on the telly, right? Or something, she goes, I had that idea. Do you know what, like, you remember like that is it QVC or that Mad Info commercial that shows you every mad thing it's going to save you loads of time in the kitchen? Yeah, and you buy them on Temu now in the break after like 30 seconds. But every time one of them comes on, she goes, I invented that. Oh, yeah, nice one, did you? Yeah, right? So she had all these big ideas in her head, but never did anything with them, because a lot of the big ideas or a lot of the things that take off, not rocket science, it's not revolutionary, it's obvious, but nobody did it, or the person who did it took the time, got the clarity, researched it, most importantly, got a bit of luck, because there is always luck and timing,
100%.
Always luck and timing, and they kept at it. So the big idea is amazing, keep getting them, but turn that idea into something tangible, speak to the right people to do something with it, and keep going. And what I mean by keep going is, you'll see a lot of people start businesses either because they're being made redundant, or they didn't like being being managed, right? Yeah, I don't want to be managed anymore. The phrase I hear loads now is, I'm unemployable. No, you're employable. Your brain just works differently to what that is. So you feel, I'm going to go and do this and this will work for me. So they've either been made redundant, they say they're unemployable, or they really want this idea to go out there. But when they go and do that, or they want to set their business up, they don't then look and think, how am I going to get to this point, right? And that's where the luck is. So a lot of content creators, right, get a bit of luck and then they take off and they learn, right? So, you look at the likes of, there's the guy from Wrexham now who just goes and makes himself vomit everything or eat things, and he's celebrating yesterday. He's got 1 million subscribers. Yeah. I'm not having he's the business bane of Britain, by the way, right? No. But he fell on something. Then he got a bit of advice, and then he started seeing other influencers, and he did that. So he kept at it and then he left his job 12, 15 months down the line. Dodgy Gardener, do you know him? Yeah. Love him, right? It's just shot something in ChatGPT, start recording it, and because he's got a good Scottish accent and he swears and he shares his bit of life with you, has took off 17 months later, quit his job, and is doing it. Yeah. And the reason I'm giving you those couple of examples in the content world is because they had a bit of clarity of something that they wanted to do, right? But they didn't quit their job straight away. They knew they had to be financially stable and to see where this would go and how that would go. Yeah. So their big idea was never to become a gardener or to become whatever that guy is from Wrexham. What I don't even know how to put him in a bracket of what he is, but just one of these shock jocks.
The thing is with content these days, is because information is so like it's lost all its value in a way. And what I mean by that is, when we were young, like information was quite scarce. So if you wanted to know something, you couldn't just like Google it, or you couldn't just go on social media, or you couldn't chat GPT it and just get the information there. You'd have to go somewhere. You'd have to go to a library, or you'd have to, I don't know, go on one of them like internet cafes, or wait for 5 o'clock so your modem will kick in. And
Like, you had to put effort in, right?
You had to like actually go and like source the information. I remember being in college and like you have to go through the library, you have to go through each book, you have to reference everything. Now you just chat GPT it all. And because of that, information's become less valuable because the less scarce something is, the less valuable it is. So the question is, what becomes value? Like, what's valuable to someone? And because of that, all these things, like all these like crazy creators that you see doing random stuff, everything works because it's all insight, right? Like there was a guard. I don't know if it's the same guy, the angry gardener or dodgy gardener, whatever it is. There was this guy, must be late 60s, early 70s, in his garden mowing about his plants, and he's sticking videos on YouTube, and he's like got like 4 million subs. It's ridiculous. And then he's got to a point now where his kids are like doing YouTube channels and all that. And I'm like this stuff is like, there's an audience for everything. People want to watch stuff. So no matter what your idea is, like you can create something around it. Like,
but that's the point, isn't it? Coming back to that big idea and what makes ideas different. It's saying it's either sticking at it and being not egotistical enough to know that it might need to evolve slightly to what that is or to where it goes. Because again, none of them started off big. I'll come back to the creator world. Hashtag Brady started off eating burgers. He's now a travel. He's made all his money doing travel, and now he's trying something different, right? So you have to evolve with what the audience want or where that is, but you've got to be willing to put that in. And I just want to bring that back to any type of business, because I know we're talking a lot about content because it's a content room. But even if you think of any type of business, whatever idea you have, going back to my mother-in-law analogy, do something with it, all right? Research it, first of all, to see if it's been done. I've spoken to a lot of people who have businesses and go, I've got this amazing idea, and I go, I know that. It's superb, that. Thanks for talking to me about it for half an hour. But I know 4 other companies that are doing it. What do you mean? Well, have you researched it? No, I just thought I had this idea. So why is yours different? So the idea can be cool, and if 4 other people are doing it, brilliant, but get a bit of clarity about what makes you different.
Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun.
No. But what makes you different? Exactly. And the other bit is, I would implore anyone to think about when they get an idea, is what value does that give to the person it's going to benefit?
Exactly. Totally
value,
agree.
Because again, whether it be the value of these content creators to me, right, is it allows me to relax and switch off for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. So I will watch that again, because there's not a lot makes me laugh nowadays, because every time I turn the terrestrial telly on, it's just bad news, right? So if I just watch somebody prancing around being daft, getting beat up by the world's strongest man, honestly, mad things you're watching. Yeah. But it gives me escapism. Yeah. So that's the value.
Well, me and you could go out on the street now, do some buffoonery behaviour, and get loads of views.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fact. We could do that. But is it valuable to anyone? Probably not. That said, what I would sort of say on that side of it is, I think I put a post on about this the other day, actually. It's like, I could say something like, help me get to 100,000 subs on my podcast. Okay. I'm asking you to do something.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to help me.
Yes.
Whereas I could say, come along for the ride and help and watch me grow my dream business while raising kids and a family. And the goal is to get to 100,000 subs.
Yeah.
The second version of that is giving someone something to buy into.
Yeah.
People need something to buy into. That's why people buy into like the manosphere and all this stuff that goes on these days.
Yeah.
Because whether you like it or not, they're buying into something. It's like it's a movement that they're buying into.
Yeah.
And I think that's where value is. It's like people bought into this content room, I believe, is because when I was coming into this concert room, I was showing all the fucking wood panels on the floor, and it looked like shite.
Yeah.
And people bought into that because it was like, I want to see what it's like when it's done.
Yeah.
I can't. People see us on this podcast and be like, do you know what? I really want to sit in that seat. Subconsciously, you don't even think it. But when you look watching a Joe Rogan podcast, you're looking at going, I'd love to sit with them red curtains in the background.
Yeah.
Imagine being in that seat. That'd be amazing. Yeah. Or you look at like something like, you know, when you go to see the families in Disney World and you see the big Magic Kingdom castle in the background. Yeah. Like, I'd love to get that family photo. Yeah. Like, subconsciously, you're not thinking it, but subconsciously, like, I want to be in there. Yeah. I'm bought into that. I'm going for the ride. And that's why all the biggest companies have that following. Like, a really interesting one I always talk about is, I don't know if you follow Roddy Sutherland.
No.
So Roddy Sutherland's like one of my favourite marketers. He's fucking brilliant. He's like the CEO of Ogilvy. He talks about, he's got this concept called reverse benchmarking. So it's like, essentially, what are you really strong at? I'm not going to ignore, and I don't care what you're strong at because I expect you to be strong at. What are you really weak at? Yeah. I'm going to be really good at them weaknesses. We're really good. That's essentially what it is.
Okay.
But he talks about like Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola is the only beverage which is acceptable anywhere in the world. So whether it's a beach hut or whether it's a 5-star Michelin restaurant, you could be able to get some Coke. Essentially, it's the only drink that's able to do that because it's so big. Yeah, that's interesting, right? So if me and you were to say now, right, let's start a soft drink brand. We're going to try and compete with Coca-Cola. Yeah. How are we going to do that? Your logical brain goes, right, we need to make it taste better. We need to give more liquid in the can. We need to make the branding on the can better. We need to make it cheaper to buy, more cost effective. That's how we compete. Yeah. That's the logical brain. And then he says, who's the biggest competitor to Coca-Cola in the world now? Yeah. Who do you think it is?
Probably Prime, is it?
No.
No.
It's actually Red Bull.
Red Bull, yeah. Okay,
yeah, it's actually Red Bull. So, Red Bull, and this is not subjective at all. Yeah. This is actually like a thing that happened. So before Red Bull came out, it was put into blind taste tests, and overwhelmingly people said it tastes like utter shite. Yeah. Wouldn't feed this to my kids. It's fucking tangy. It's weird taste. Yeah. So if you look at Red Bull, it's got worse branding. It's in a smaller can.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's it tastes like piss. Not subjective. That's essentially what the taster said. Yeah. But that somehow they're able to power 2 F1 teams and a football team and all these space missions and everything. Yeah. And the biggest competitors, Coca-Cola. How does that work logically? Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it just the brain can't work. Yeah. And part of the reason, is obviously they don't market to all them logical things. They market to it gives you wings. Yeah, it makes you feel high. It gets you in a better mood. Yeah. And if you look at their Instagram page and the social pages, it's all about experiences. It's never anyone saying how great does this taste. It's always like someone on a roller coaster or someone doing a bungee jump or like these experiences that like give exhilaration. And another part of it was in terms of the taste of the thing. People associate sour taste with medicine, and they associate medicine with making you feel better.
Okay.
So when you get that like medicinal taste, and you're like, that's a bit horrible. That, but I know it's making me better.
Okay. It's really
like when you drink Red Bull, you have that.
I don't even. Unconscious
unconsciously you go. But I know it's getting me. It's giving me wings.
Right. Okay.
So there's all them little like psychological things, and I love them. Like I love that idea of revenge benchmarking where you go. And there's a great book that he talks about. I can't remember what it's called. It's called is it Unreasonable Hospitality? Can't remember what it was, but someone who was like the number one restaurant in America. Yeah, the number 50 restaurants was like, right, we want to be number one. How do we get to number one? So he took all his team to this number one restaurant. Yeah, and all his staff were like, okay, they're doing this really well, this really well, this. It's like, I'm not interested in that. I want to know what they do poorly. And there was 2 things that they done that they were like not stronger. Yeah. One was coffee service, so the coffee game wasn't that strong. Okay. And the other one was, it was great if you wanted a wine, but if you wanted just a pint, they weren't great on the beer.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So they went back and they implemented this thing where it was like, he said to someone, "You're going to be the coffee sommelier. You're going to have you're going to be in charge of making this the best restaurants for coffee. We're going to do all the other stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to make everything the best, but you're in charge of making the coffee experience the absolute best in the game." He said to some other guy, "I want you to learn everything there is to know about craft beers, normal beers, everything about beers, what beers go with which fish, what beers taste nice with this, and make the beer experience so you're not like a second-class citizen if you want to drink a beer in the restaurants."
Right, okay, yeah, clever.
And then he got to number one.
Right, okay.
And there's something about that, like reverse psychology, I think, where, and I always try and think about it in the concert room. It's like, going back to what you said, I know we digressed a bit there.
No.
If there's 10 concept rooms in a row, if there's 10 No Graft, No Glories in a row, what makes them pick our concept room over all the rest? Yeah. And I actually think it's the illogical. I actually think it's what do they do really, really well that other people don't?
It makes sense, right? Because if someone's so good, I love that, because it makes sense, right? So if someone's so good at something, are you really going to better it now? Probably not. You're not. You can be
in theory, Scott. You could go out today.
Yeah.
Buy these lights.
Yeah.
Buy these cameras.
Yeah.
Buy these backdrops and have your own concert room.
Yeah. But I'd be a poor imitation, right? But if I then went and looked and said, okay, what do they not do well? Yeah, so they don't have the best guests on. They've got this lad from the northeast who speaks wham on. Do you know what I mean? Let me go and get better guests or whatever that may be. That makes sense.
I call them hidden gems.
Oh yeah, thank you. and I was trying to think of a really bad joke off the back of that. But if you go and then look at what isn't happening, then it makes sense that people would go to that because they would go, right, I can't get that experience with Coca-Cola. I can't get that experience at the best restaurant. But I can go to this alternative, that does those bits that I haven't got just as well. But that comes back to my point, Steve. I will keep bringing it back to this. And this is why I'm so passionate about the NG3 methodology that I've created, of that clarity, control, and consistency. I'm just mad passionate about it because I know, if you look at that, it's about clarity. Whether you reverse market it, whether you traditionally market it, whether you have the best idea in the world, if you don't spend the time to have real understanding about what you're doing, okay, or how you're going to do it, or where your customers are at, or how they buy, or what they don't like, or what they do like, then it isn't going to get legs and go and go in the right direction. And that's why I'm if anyone's listening to this and anything they've taken from today is, and if you're thinking of setting a business up where you've got it, it's not moving how you want it to move, just go and look at those areas. Don't go and look at others, 20 million sales or whatever they are. Look at what your business is, what your idea, and say, is this, or do I fully understand what I'm selling? Because again, just to move it on to the next point of when you're starting a business, the other bit where people fail, whether it be with marketing, content, setting a business up, like I said earlier, I deal with loads of consultants, small businesses, oh my God, my mind's just gone totally blank. Is where they fail. You can edit this out, can't you? But where they or don't edit it out. Just leave it in. Just leave it in. Shit, I know loads about it and I forgot what it is. No. But so my point was about where businesses fail or where they don't move forward. No, my mind's gone totally blank.
I think what you were trying to say, if I'm not mistaken, was if you're looking at a business that does 20 million in sales, and you're doing, I don't know, 50 grand in sales, it's not a comparable. There's not a tangible bridge to gap, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So there is that, but it's around so where business owners and they need to do is once you've got that clarity, you've got to understand where you're going, how you're going to get there, and having that plan to do it, right? But if you don't have that plan or you don't understand how you're going to get from A to B, right, whether that be fluke or whatever, you've got to take the time, whether that is to say, how do I move from A to B, right? And what value do I add? Yeah. Is it financially doable? All right. So a bit of financial clarity, a bit of value clarity, a bit of customer clarity. Yeah. Most importantly, a bit of operational clarity, right? So how am I going to do it? I've remembered my point, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Right. Honestly, you think it was this. But once you've got that clarity in all of those areas, the biggest bit, and we'll come back to it, is you've got to be a marketer, but most importantly, when you set your business up, you've got to remember you're the salesperson. So earlier on, you made a really good point around saying the reason that salespeople are so well financially compensated is because of that resilience and they're good at it, right? but you said well compensated. Well, when I'm setting my business up, I can't afford to go and pay for a good salesperson because they cost too much, right? Or I've got to give them away. If I'm only making X amount of margin, I don't want to give it all away in bonus to my salesperson. So you as the individual have to be the salesperson for that business, right? And loads of people have a good idea, the big idea, right? They're buzzing, show me the money, yeah, if we want to do a bit of Jerry Maguire. They have the big idea, they're really passionate about it, and what they then want to go and do is do what they love to do. So you love to do this, right? So you love to go and make podcasts, interview people, really help people with content, yeah? You would do this all day long. Right? Problem you've got is this doesn't get you sales, right? You have to then go and look at the sales process in the background. You are constantly selling the business.
Yeah.
But guess what? There's not that many good salespeople around. So when you say to someone, well, if you're setting your business up, remember, until you can afford it, you have to be that salesperson. And 80% of your business is selling.
Yeah.
And so many people give up at that. Because again, I'll give you an example. I was working with a client this week and I said to her, how much time do you spend selling?
Yeah.
She was like, what do you mean? I said, well, how much time you spend selling what you offer, you and your business? She was like, oh, well, maybe it's an hour a day. And I said, right, okay, and how many clients have you had? Well, I've only had 2. Well, there's your answer. You might have the best idea in the world, but if nobody's known about it and you're not selling it and you're not out there selling it, whether that be through whatever medium that your customers go to, clarity again, where are your customers? How are anyone going to know it?
Exactly.
Yeah, and you think you're the DBs, right? DB, dog bollocks, right? You think you're amazing. People couldn't care less because there's so many people doing it.
100%.
You've got to go and tell them what you're doing and how to get there. So again, if people are listening to this and going, I've got this idea or my business isn't moving, if you are not selling 80% of every day, and what I mean by selling, can I just briefly tell you, what do I mean by selling? Prospecting, right? So wherever your customers shop, whether that be on LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever that is, you have to be on there looking for them, right? Finding people who you want to sell to, whether that be a like, a comment, or whatever that is. You need to find new ones every single day. First point of it. Then the next point of it is you need to be trying to speak to them every single day. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, because people think sales, cold calling, sending one email, doing all that. It's not those things. It's a combination of all of that, right? Because if you're trying to sell to somebody who never picks up the phone, why are you trying to cold call them? You're never going to do it and it's going to put you off. Understand what they're doing, but you need to be reaching out to them every single day. Then if you're lucky enough and you get a meeting or you go networking, for example, and you follow that up, you have to follow up every day. So one email, right, honestly, the amount of people I talk to, Steve, I got some good last, I sent an email, right? Okay, brilliant. How many emails did you send to that person? Well, 1. Okay. And they didn't reply to you, no, so I didn't bother. Come on, right? Yeah. You know that you've got to have about 15 touch points, right?
Yeah.
Whether that be calls, likes, emails.
What is it? 7-11-4? Is that the?
It will be.
I'm sure there was like I don't know. Denk Global's. It was like a Daniel Priestley conference just post COVID.
Okay.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. And he talks about something called, I'm sure it's 7-11-4, where Google done this mass study.
Yeah.
And it was, I can't think, if I get this wrong, I'll put it in the notes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's 11, it's 7 hours of content.
Yeah, okay.
Over 11, it's 7 touch points over 11 hours of content over 4 platforms.
Okay.
And then platforms don't have to be social media.
Yeah.
They can be in the room, physical events, social media, LinkedIn, YouTube, podcasting, whatever. Listen to an audiobook. It's 7 touch points over 11 hours of content. Yeah. So if you're making 20-second clips, 11 hours of content, you have to make a fucking shit ton of content for people to see all that.
Yeah.
Now, if you make 11 one-hour podcasts, chances are they're not going to watch every single minute of every single hour of podcast. Yeah. So you have to make content, but not just content. You've got to be in the face.
But that's the point I'm making. So it doesn't matter if it's 7-11-4. It doesn't matter if it's 15. It's more than one. It's more than one.
Yeah.
And keep going because, again, And the other bit I really want to reiterate when you're going through this is, and this is where we talk about the graft and people giving up and where it is whomever you speak to, you are not number one on their to-do list, right? So the only reason you're number one is if someone comes and finds you and they run at you and go, take my money today, right? They've got a massive problem and they need it then, right? And they know you are the referral. Then you're top of that. But regardless of that, if you're doing outreach or content or you're trying to sell something, you are not number one. So why would you expect them to drop everything to get in touch with you? Reality, reality, they're not going to. But what they might do, if you keep talking to them and keep your outreach and your sales going, when they do need you, you are there and you are at the forefront of their mind. Whether it's, I do want to go on a podcast, or I want to do something, I watched Steve's podcast 6 months ago. I'm still seeing his clips come up now, right? I know I need to go there. Or whatever the big idea is, you've got to keep going, all right? And we come back to the kids chasing and enjoying it. Resilience is key. So keep selling, keep reaching out, keep touching people. Maybe don't do that, but keep having.
I beg your pardon.
I know, yeah, right, yeah. Depends what your game is, right? I don't know. You're selling a massage parlour, it's good, but whatever that is. Never been to one myself, but all of those things, just keep going with it, and that comes back to that controls. So clarity, control, consistency. Get the controls in place. Keep going. Keep doing what you're going to do. Yeah. But if you come into a business now and you think it doesn't sound like me, I'm just going to tell you right now, fuck it off. Go and get a job in a corporate world, because you will just cause yourself pain. Yeah. And when you are ready, because you will be at a certain point, come back to it. But don't just sit.
It's good. You know what? You resonate with me hard here. I always think like when that happens as well, you end up in a situation. You see loads of people doing it. I always think there's two parts of a business. It's just my brain compartmentalizes it. Is up to the point of sale and after the point of sale.
Yeah.
So everything before the point of sale, your content, your marketing, your outreach, your networking, all that stuff.
Yeah.
People get really good at that stuff.
Yep.
And then become really time poor on service delivery.
Yeah.
Or they become really good at service delivery because they'll take any money they can.
Yeah.
And then they become really terrible at marketing themselves.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why all their best potential clients go to someone else. And you've got to be that whole fucking shebang, right?
Right. So it's a journey, right? So for me, what I talk to people about is saying, right, sales never stops, right? Sales never, because in a lot of what we do, sales is relationships, right? The best salespeople are relationships, because a lot of what we sell, like we said earlier, isn't tangible. You can't feel it, you can't see it, right? So a lot of sales is you are selling a dream, you are selling an emotion. So you're selling a relationship. And where, again, lots of people fall foul is they'll get a client or they'll get a customer, we'll do one bit of business with them, so we'll do one bit of content or we'll do one bit of filming, and then we go, all right, brilliant, we've done that, nice one, see you later. You'll want to come back and use me at some point, of course you will, so I'm not going to bother with you, you'll come back to me. Well, no, they won't, they'll forget about you. So that sales journey continues from the length of your relationship with them. Yep, and that's the controls in place. So once they've done their bit of content, follow up, and they are now your future pipeline. So if you think about it, yeah, if it's one and done, you keep in touch with them, yeah, or if they keep using your product, then you keep asking them how they're feeling, keep asking them what's going on with it, keep asking them what they want from it, because if you are building, let's say if you've got a SaaS product or a tech product, ask them what they want next, right? Because again, when we start getting successful in business, we think we fucking know it all, and we're going to tell you what you want. Only your likes of Coca-Cola and your big brands can do that. Yeah. McDonald's are trying to tell me at the minute that I've got to betray the Big Mac and get a crispy chicken, right? So that's their new marketing campaign, right? They can do that because they're huge and they're always in your face. But us little minnows, remember?
Yeah.
Isn't
that an interesting lesson, though, that all these big businesses are constantly marketing themselves, and they put more and more marketing pounds into the budget every year, where you think they don't need to market themselves anymore?
Yeah, but they do, because unconscious marketing now. So by the way, this is no theory, this is just my thoughts on it, right? I haven't gone to school or anything for this, right? So my theory on the marketing, right, and what you were talking about, the big companies, they still put money, of course they have to, right, because they know the power of it, but it's unconscious, right? And what I mean by that is now, I will probably drive around and I will see more McDonald's adverts or Coca-Cola adverts, right? But it's in my psyche. So I'm used to seeing it. right? So if I go to an event, I'm used to seeing. I reckon now, if we go to any big place, we'll always see probably a Coca-Cola brand or a Pepsi. It's normally Pepsi Coke. Red Bull if it's in a sporting event, or whatever that is, or McDonald's if you're in like a big arena. You just see them everywhere, right? Now, even though it's in our psyche, if they stopped, another company would come and take that slot, right? And then guess who comes into our psyche of that? Yeah, I'll still ask for a Coke, but I might get offered Pepsi. I'll go, whatever that is, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's why they keep doing it, because they know it's unconscious. We're there. They've got to keep putting it in. We'll see it and we'll keep using it, right? But as soon as they stop it, so as soon as you stop selling, as soon as you stop talking, whether you're Coca-Cola or you're John and his buddy shop down the road, as soon as you stop telling people about it, it drops out. It's the famous marketing, isn't it? We've all got a Hoover. Well, we haven't. We've got a vacuum. Hoover's the brand. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'll have a Coke. Well, actually, you'll just have a soft drink. A soft drink or whatever that is. They are in the public psyche. So let's not sit here, if you're starting out comparing yourself to that, we're just using that as the example of the reason that they will keep marketing is because they know the power and how quickly humans switch off or will move on to whatever we're told. Because funnily enough, we're really easily influenced as humans. And that's what we do. We will then follow the latest trend. Again, I said Prime with the biggest drink, right? Really interesting.
Because it's all, because they're great at marketing.
Yep, they were, right? So Prime don't market anywhere near as much as they did, right? But what they did is they went viral, right? So I swear to God, my kid didn't even like this Prime, right? I'm sat outside Aldi or something at like 6:30 in the morning waiting for it to open to get a bottle of Prime and spend 16 quid on a bottle of Prime. Well, actually, Aldi never did that, but you know what I mean?
Was it the golden lid or something?
It was just when it first came out, it was you had to have it.
They made it like Pokemon, where it was like like one bottle in like a million had like a golden lid.
Oh, did it? Right, okay.
And like, if you won a golden lid, I think you won like a trip to go see Logan Paul or whatever, or KSI.
But it was in my psyche. Is what I'm saying, is that Prime come out, and that still was with me of regards of going, oh, well, they had such a huge boom. Sunny Delight did it years ago. Sunny Delight took over Coca-Cola for, I think it was like a week or something. I think Coca-Cola ended up buying them. But Sunny Delight did it when we were younger. Sunny Delight did it. Were the first to try and really do it.
I used to love Sunny Delight as well.
Yeah. I don't think, there was enough E-numbers in it, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Probably why we all liked it, because we were buzzing. You know what I mean? Probably worse than Red Bull. But Sunny Delight did it. Then Prime did it. And because of what I watch and where I'm at, I see the Paul brothers all of the time, whether they're boxing or I'm a 44-year-old wrestling fan, right? So I do watch a bit of the wrestling and all of those type of things because I love stories. Yeah. So
WWE was great for storytelling.
It's a soap.
Yeah,
it's a soap. People go to wrestling. No, it's a soap. It's just your EastEnders or whatever it is, different stories. But the Prime was there and in the psyche, if you know what I mean. So it's like, when you're doing it, just to round that conversation off, Steve, because I think it's really important to say, when you're thinking of a customer and if you're setting your business up, do not think one and done. Think, how do I maintain that relationship and how do I get them to come back to me? Because we're not all huge conglomerates and we can't, No Graft, No Glory will always be at its heart a consultancy for sales and ops, right? Yes, I'm writing a book on the methodology because I think that will help people, and yes, I'll have the podcast. But ultimately, at the heart of it, I can't create 200 different work streams because it's me. Makes sense?
Definitely.
So the only way I do it is by delivering quality.
Yeah.
Coming back to that word value, by adding value all of the time, and then having clarity about and the controls in place of how do I keep in touch with them and keep in touch with these people consistently. Because remember, even if they don't buy from you, to go back to the original point, they might not buy from you today. But if you keep in touch with them and keep on their radar, when they need you, they will remember you and come back to you.
Yeah, I always say everything is white noise until you become the ideal client.
Well, you don't need it till you didn't know you needed it till you need it, right?
Exactly. I mean, I have this analogy. It's like if you're in the market to buy a puppy.
Yeah.
You say your kid's like sort of pecking your head to get a puppy, and you're like, no. And then a few months passes, no, definitely not getting a puppy. A few more months passes, no, definitely not getting a puppy. And then all of a sudden you're like, right, okay, I'm caving, gonna get a puppy.
Yeah.
And you start seeing puppy stuff everywhere. Your RAS kicks in and you're like, I'm gonna get a puppy.
Yeah.
So you start seeing puppies everywhere. And then the person who's posted all the puppy content, the person who's become the most trusted person in that puppy niche over time, you might have seen them in their networking events, you might have seen them on Instagram or LinkedIn, or you might have opened up a doggy daycare down the road and you've got like loads of puppies. And you've constantly seen it. It's all been white noise for a long time. I know there's a doggy daycare up there, but I don't know what it's supposed. And how many businesses like that around? I have a think about it. Like on this park alone, there's 152 businesses. 152. If I get 10 of them, fucking happy days. You know what I mean? I know roughly what they do. I don't know how, like the ins and outs of it. But like I know there's 152 businesses. That's it. It's all white noise. One day, my tyre might blow up in my car. Oh, Bumblebee also is up the road. I can do that. There's this shooting up the road. Oh yeah, happy days. The kid wants to get some more, so let's go there. And until you become that person, where you're now the ideal clients, all your content, all your marketing sale will all be white noise. You just got to accept that, because one day they will become the ideal clients. It's like saying, oh, my car lease is up next month. I'm going to have to think about getting a new car. So you're starting to think about it. Then you're starting to assess your options. Then you start going down the buyer journey, the awareness journey and all that.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden you're like, right, I'm buying a car.
Okay.
And the person who's done the best job in that whole time when you haven't been taking notice,
spot on,
is who's going to win.
Yeah. And you know, we'll touch on one other thing because I think it's really important when you're talking around this sales or whatever that is. And keeping that going. The other big part of that is relationships and relationship selling, right? Now, a lot of people don't have the money to do huge marketing type of stuff, right? Yeah. So the power of networking, and network is huge, right? But I do want to touch on it because I think it's really important when you're talking around that resilience and type of thing. So loads of people start networking and then they go, doesn't work for me, it's rubbish, or I'm not getting sales quickly, right? Me and you met through a networking group, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not part of said networking group yet. But I've not left you alone.
Exactly.
Right? I might be doing your head in, but I've looked and I've thought, right, okay, one, I liked you because you had something about you. Two, I think you can add value to my business down the way. But three, I think I can help you. Now, I might not be able to help you today. I might not have been able to help you 6 months.
But actually, though, it's not annoying. That's the thing. It's like, I know in my head.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, I know the whole time. As soon as I come into the need of your service, you're the one. Because you've made all that effort the whole time. It's not, fucking hell, just leave me alone. No, and don't get me wrong, there's the odd annoying person that'll come along and it's like, I can't be doing with this guy. You know, but in the main, you know, someone might have an idea in their head to start a podcast for 2-3 years, and I'm the one who's constantly marketing at them. All of a sudden they go, he's the one.
So there's the marketer, but there's the relationship points, D, is what I'm saying, is that, you know, if you go, and bring it back to the clarity and control, is when you go networking, right, if you think you're going to meet somebody that day and they're going to give you business straight away, they don't know you, right? And with a lot of businesses, you have to trust. Someone has to trust you with their brand.
Yeah.
That's huge. I don't know whether you realise how big that is, man. That's huge, right? So this is my baby. This is everything. I'm going to trust Steve to get my brand out there. Now, they're not going to come to you after they're hearing a 60-second pitch at a networking thing or you know, sharing a stale butty from Costco, depending on where you go. You've got to keep that relationship going. So if you are networking, because networking is sales and relationship building, make sure that you have that clarity about who you want to speak to and then keep in touch with them. Keep in touch with people. It's not about being the best mate and going for a pint. It's just about saying, how are you getting on? I'll use another great example is with yourself is, I'd seen that you'd been nominated for something, right? Yeah. And I knew, and I knew you, and I thought, oh, I'll just message you to say congratulations, and I'll do it online. You know what I mean? And you didn't know you'd been nominated, right?
I didn't know I'd been nominated. No.
When is that awards?
I think it's like a week on Friday or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know.
Oh,
I need to get me tickets though.
Okay. But what I mean by that is, what I looked at that, and I'm thinking about these people in the network that I've met, and I thought, oh, do you know what? He's a lovely lad. He deserves what that is. Let me just say well done to him. Do you know what I mean? There's no airs or graces. It's not me trying to sell to you. That's about going, you've got a relationship, you've been made up for people. Now, just because you hadn't messaged me 17 times to ask how I was getting on or what that doesn't mean that you're not caring or knowing that person. It's about going, how do you keep building and understanding relationships? So it comes back to that sales piece around, if you can't afford the whole marketing budget straight away, if you can't afford to join 3-letter word networking groups that cost a big financial commitment from you at that point when you're bootstrapping, doesn't mean when you go to these free networking events you can't keep that going. Relationships matter, especially when you're starting out a business. So if you go, and I swear to God, it doesn't matter how many new business owners found, I've tried networking, it just doesn't work for me and I don't like it, it's crap. Okay, right. How many times have you been? Once. Okay. How many times have you met the people you went to? Well, once. Come on. No graft, no glory. Everything, you've got to put the work in. You've got to put the effort in to get it. So, we can spend thousands on this, we can spend thousands on that. Get the big idea. Find out if it's going to work. Start grafting. Get clarity around it. Be in control of it. And then most importantly, at the end of all of this, Steve, keep going.
Exactly.
Consistently.
I love it, mate. I love it. You've dropped so much gold on here, mate. So on the subject of big ideas, just kind of like, so we're on the 13th of May as we're recording this, heading into sort of middle of the second quarter. What's the big idea for No Graft, No Glory for the rest of the year?
Yeah. So, oh God, really good question. I want to get consistent at what I'm doing. I've got a big goal.
So you seem, if you don't mind me sort of like just over assessing the podcast that we've just done, you seem like you have a lot of clarity.
Yeah.
Your 3 C's are nailed in.
Yeah.
So it's just a consistency now, is it?
For me, so it's consistency. So yeah, I've got clarity.
Disclaimer to anyone watching this that he is literally out of a cast yesterday, so he's probably been a bit incapacitated for a few weeks.
Yeah. So I haven't. You see, because I've been consistently online, right? Not on bloody Instagram, which you're going to help me with and putting that camera in my face, but on LinkedIn, and I've done events online. I've done virtual events to keep myself relevant, to keep that out there. But the big goal for me is, by the end of the year, I want to self-publish the book around the methodology. I want people to know, and I want people who are starting a business to be able to go and pick up a book or listen to a podcast that cuts all the bullshit out and tells you what you need to do and practical ways to do it, right? And not charge you thousands of pounds for it. So that's that goal.
I love it.
Second goal is, I really want to share more people's real stories, because, again, the great thing about social media is it gives us an outlet. The shit thing about social media is it makes us think everybody's fucking amazing and smashing it, and it puts people off.
Yeah.
And you need to know the graft that went into that to get the glory. So that's my podcast, where I interview people about reality. What work did you put in to get to here?
Yeah.
And let's share it, because do not be put off because you didn't know. So I want that out there. Okay.
Makes sense.
The third bit is, I want to help as many businesses and business owners as I can. Okay. Have clarity in their business so they can start on the right foot. And I do that by working with people one-on-one. I work with about 6 people now on consistent basis each month. I work with another 5 companies around the country who I'm helping build their sales growth. I am one person. Okay, I do not have capacity to take them on, but I want to make sure that I am full and I'm helping as many people as I can, and my other outlets are spreading the word for No Graft, No Glory. So, yeah, give us can I say this? I've always got to say, can you like, share, and follow my content, please?
So that leads me on to my last question. If someone wants to get involved with No Graft, No Glory and the world of Scott McLellan, where's the best place they can find you?
Yeah.
Or where's the best place they can enter the ecosystem of No Graft, No Glory?
I was like, just like on a street corner, like, busking on Middleton. No. So where can you find me? You can find me online. So on LinkedIn, No Graft, No Glory, or Scott McLellan. Sure, my name will be in there.
Yeah, I'll link it all up.
I've got regular content going out on there on that. The YouTube channel will be launching in June, so you can follow me on there. And I would say follow me on Instagram, because we're going to get a lot better on Instagram and what we're doing. But yeah, I'm not hard to find. And just honestly, just drop me a message, because I just love helping people. And that's, I've got to be right honest with you, right? I could go and make a shitload of money, Steve, and I could go back and be employed, but I just love helping people, and I want to help more and more people do this.
There's easy ways to make a living, mate. I always say that. Like, there's people see it now. Oh, it's the shiny room, and you're smashing it. You're putting so much content out. It's great. You're working with loads of cool people. Yeah, you haven't seen the fucking sleepless nights and the living on the cans of baked beans and having the odd conversation with my missus about where our next payday's coming from, and she's pregnant, stressed, and I'm redundant and on furlough. You don't see all that, but you do see the Instagram post where he goes to Barcelona. It's like, oh, you're smashing it. It's like, yeah, but you haven't seen the 10,000. It's like the old 10,000 hours thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this. Just this is completely off. The breakfast cereal company, Fuel 10K.
Okay.
You'll see this now because it's in your...
Yeah, it's in there, yeah.
So if you go into a supermarket, you'll see they do like granola, porridge, all that kind of stuff, called Fuel 10K. Okay. They were actually founded in a Claremont farm in Spittle up the road here. They sold to Premier Foods for like 60 million. Jason, who's a really good mate of mine, who's one of the founders, he walked away with... He won't tell me how much, but...
He's done all right.
You could imagine, yeah. And he's just a normal bloke. A completely normal bloke, and he's kind of like, I'm like, what are you gonna do next? He's like, yeah, I'll probably just start up a little. I think he wants to do like Italian cuisine and stuff, but it's them businesses. The 10K in that Fuel 10K, by the way, is the 10,000 hours.
Which is how I
but it's it blows my mind how many amazing normal people have got fucking amazing businesses, and they're all half the time literally within a few miles of you, and you can reach out to them and become part of their ecosystem. I
think that's really important. You can reach out to people, because sometimes we feel like people are unattainable, right?
Yeah.
But actually, people look at most massive businesses, right? They started as one person with a big idea who put the graft in, who got a bit of luck, but then rode it along. And they're always willing to help if you ask in the right way. You know what I mean? And yet, to just be brave, just ask.
Peter Russell, my first business coach, was like, I need to go and see him actually. He's a great guy, and I haven't seen him for about a year, but he's amazing. He's well into his 70s now. Multi-millionaire, had like 400 staff, and he always used to say to me, big ideas are big in your imagination, but small in reality. Never really landed with me at all. I was like, what do you mean by that? And over time, it kind of started to, like, the penny started to drop with it. And what he meant by that is, when it's in your imagination, it's like, I'm going to help people. I'm going to change the world. This idea is fucking revolutionary. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. And then when you put it in reality, and it's out of your head, it's like, register the domain name, fill out the form, set up your payment processor, do the outreach. It's like this big grand thing becomes this like real condensed thing, and most people go, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. People aren't just flocking to me.
It's everything we've talked about. That's a full circle.
Yeah.
Because what you visualize is the end goal. Yeah. Everybody sees what they're going to spend their lottery winnings on, right? What you need to do, and this brings me back to the point that probably be a good place to finish, is people don't visualize the graft to get the glory.
I know.
And when you've got to start grafting, it becomes hard.
Exactly.
Just remember, don't try and do it alone. Get out there. Your family haven't set up with a business, they won't get it. I'll just tell you right now. They won't get it.
Yeah.
So don't try and talk.
My mum still says to me, you need to go and get a normal job.
Yeah, you won't get it.
I was like, Mum, it's been like 7 years.
Go and find your tribe, right? Go find your tribe. People like you who understand it. People who are only 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. Yeah. Whether that's me or you or whomever. Find those people, talk to them, and they will help you get there.
For sure.
Especially in Liverpool and the peninsula.
The peninsula,
do you know what I mean? People want to help.
Go to the world.
People want to help. All right, nice one.
Appreciate your time, mate. That was superb. Absolutely superb. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Nice one.
Cheers, mate. Mate, that was class. You know what?